Okay, I don't know if this is going to work, so I'll give it a try. This is Joe, also known as Monty Ollie on YouTube, and I'm just doing a quick response video to Charles Asher's video about making friends. So what was it? It was something about you don't really want to be, the line that I picked up on was that you don't really want to be friends with someone who's not trans friendly anyway. And I thought that was awesome. That's true. Of course it's true. You don't want to be, why would you want to be friends with someone who doesn't actually like you? But it just got me to thinking, because I have a weakness, and that seems to be that I want to be friends with people who don't like me, or who have some sort of bias against me or prejudice against me. I don't know. It's like this compulsion to convert people to my way of thinking through my kindness, like kill them with kindness type of attitude, or just open their eyes up to new ways of thinking through just getting to know me. And a good example of this is I was raised evangelical Christian. I always call it a cult, because in my mind I was raised in a cult. But my mother would tell you it was just run-of-the-mill generic Catholic. At any rate, being raised fundy evangelical like that made me kind of a wackadoo Christian back in the day. And I used to be quite evangelical. I used to try and convert people all the time to my way of thinking. And then of course when I grew up and came to my senses and became less psychotic and ditched the religion, etc., I realized I have a fundy streak in me. Not a Christian fundy streak, but just a fundamentalist. I tend to believe the things that I believe so strongly, and I'm just hell-bent on converting people to my way of thinking sometimes. And I know it's perhaps a character flaw. I don't know. I also think it's maybe, I don't know, maybe it's a good thing. So a good example would be, well, I identify as genderqueer. As you can see, I'm born female. I work with all men in an all-male environment, and I have a lot of issues with being treated like a girl at work. There's a lot of guys that I work with that cannot comprehend anything outside the gender binary. The fact that I'm female means they're going to treat me a certain way, even though I'm, for all intents and purposes, just like they are. I do the same job they do. I have a lot of the same attitudes they do. I'm not a feminine female. I don't get along with other women. I don't do the things the girls in the office will go, you know, baby showers and shopping. I don't do that with them. It doesn't interest me. It's I think my whole other video is on being identifying as genderqueer, and when I realized it was quite revolutionary, because I never knew why I was that way, so opposed, so actually physically opposed to doing girly things, and not because they were girly, but just because they didn't interest me. But that's not to say I like to do guy things. I don't sit around the office and talk about sports and, you know, so-and-so's tits and so forth. I'm not like that either. So I like to find myself somewhere in the middle. But one of my little missions in life is not to sort of spread feminism, although I always called it that. All my life I called it feminism. But I work with a bunch of homophobic, I would assume transphobic guys, who sure as hell can't comprehend the word genderqueer. So when I told them, some of them I've told I was genderqueer, and they say, oh, you mean gender neutral. They don't like the word queer at all. Throws them right off. I love to rub their noses in it. I love being friends with guys. And I don't mean friends. I guess I mean friendly. I like to show people that I can be this way, you can like me, and we can agree that I'm not so bad, and so you can't be homophobic around me, or you can't be transphobic around me, or you can't be misogynist around me. There's things you can't be if you're going to be my friend, and these guys typically are. Or not just the guys at work, but I mean just people in my life. I also think there was an element to it that was making me think. I was raised in an alcoholic family, and I'm very, very, very sickeningly attracted to alcoholics, or people with a problem, or loser asshole guys, alpha, you know, chest thumping males with a problem, alpha style. That's the kind of man that I'm attracted to, and it's sad but true. And so I actually do want to be with people like that, even though I know they're assholes. It's like I want to convert them. I don't know how else to put it. It's kind of sad, because I wouldn't want to be converted, and I wouldn't want someone to hang around with me for the purposes of converting me to their way of thinking. And yet here I am, you know, kind of doing just that. So anyway, I just wanted to give you an alternative perspective. I'm Canadian, as you probably can tell from my accent. I'm just on my lunch hour from work, and I came to this beautiful place. You have to see it. It's out in the middle of nowhere. You can see. And that's just the parking lot. Actually, in behind where the trails are, it's all babbling brooks and cackling creeks, and it's gorgeous. I sometimes come here at lunch hour for some serenity. I don't know how you do it living in San Francisco. I couldn't do it. I went there once, and yeah, it was a little bit too much for this country girl. I'm not a big fan of big cities. I just moved out from lived in a big city all my life, and I just moved out to the country, and I'm much happier. Anyway, thanks for all your videos. Always enjoy watching you, and talk to you soon. Bye.